From the Pep Radio Newsroom, here's what we are covering today. Key West, Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors, and St. Petersburg are among several Florida cities that have long been top U.S. destinations for LGBTQ plus tourists. So it came as quite a surprise this week when travelers learned that Florida's tourism marketing agency quietly removed the LGBTQ travel section from its website sometime in the past few months. Business owners who cater to Florida's LGBTQ plus tourists said Wednesday that it marked the latest attempt by officials in the state to erase the LGBTQ plus community. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis previously championed a bill to forbid classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity, and supported a ban on gender-affirming care for minors, as well as a law meant to keep children out of drag shows. "It's just disgusting to see this," said Keith Blackburn, who heads the Greater Fort Lauderdale LGBT Chamber of Commerce. "They seem to want to erase us." The change to Visit Florida's website was first reported by NBC News, which noted a search query still pulls up some listings for LGBTQ plus friendly places, despite the elimination of the section. The Philadelphia Gay News is reporting that a new report on the number and characteristics of LGBTQ parents is a reminder that common misperceptions of LGBTQ families may not always match the realities, and that despite progress, there is still room for improvement to make sure we are treated equitably. The July report from UCLA's Williams Institute, entitled LGBTQ Parenting in the U.S., analyzed multiple national data sets and found that overall, 18% of all LGBTQ adults, nearly 2.6 million people, are parents of minors. This is slightly lower than previous estimates, which the researchers say is because earlier studies sometimes counted adult siblings, grandparents, or unrelated adults in a household as parents. Not only do bisexual parents form the largest subcategory, but the majority, 53%, of partnered LGBTQ parents are partnered with a different gender, cisgender person, versus 47% partnered with same-gender, cisgender people, or with transgender or non-binary people. Heather may have two mummies, and Penguin Tango two dads in the famed picture books, but they are only part of the picture. Single LGBTQ parents, too, are more common than one might think. Of the 2.6 million LGBTQ parents, approximately 1.6 million are married or partnered, but 1 million are single. Looking from the children's perspective, 5 million children are being raised by an LGBTQ parent, but only about 300,000 are being raised by parents in same-sex couples. 2 million children live in LGBTQ single-parent households, the majority among bisexual women. The rest, we must presume, are in households with different sex parents or other structures. According to a new survey from the Trevor Project, Time magazine is now reporting that nearly 1 in 3 LGBTQ plus students say their school has at least one anti-LGBTQ plus policy. That survey was released on Wednesday. The survey, conducted by the Trevor Project, a suicide prevention organization that provides 24/7 crisis support for LGBTQ youth, says that about 18,000 LGBTQ plus youth ages 13 to 24 were polled about whether students were able to do things like use their chosen name or pronouns and use locker rooms that match their gender identity. Many anti-LGBTQ plus rules in schools target students' access to support services and affirmative spaces, though others were much broader, limiting conversations about LGBTQ plus topics, both during classroom instruction and out of it. Schools with at least one anti-LGBTQ policy were also less likely to have a gay-straight alliance, a student-led club that is intended to be a safe space for queer individuals, or a gender-neutral bathroom, according to the survey. 7% of respondents also said that their school used to have a gay-straight alliance, but stopped offering it. The new survey adds to another Trevor Project survey published in May that found 40% of LGBTQ plus youth seriously considered attempting suicide in the last year. The latest study didn't remeasure suicidal ideation, but found that LGBTQ plus students attending more supportive school environments had lower suicide risks and reported fewer depressive symptoms compared to queer youth attending schools that were less supportive. Attending a school with anti-LGBTQ plus policies also meant students were more likely to be exposed to verbal and physical attacks, as well as unwanted sexual contact because of their gender identity or sexual orientation. We wrap up today's news with a reminder that the Pennsylvania Equality Project is conducting its own survey on housing affordability and sustainability within the LGBTQ plus community in Pennsylvania as part of a 5-year project. According to last year's results, only 37% of all LGBTQ people in Pennsylvania find their current housing expenses affordable, while 15.4% said that their current housing is not affordable and that they are either falling behind or need to make other arrangements. The current housing survey is available on the Pennsylvania Equality Project's website and ends December 31st. That's today's news from PEP Radio, and now let's get back to the music.